All right, so this is day 2 with this thing, and today we did some things in there and some things in there. Like I had said yesterday or in the last video, this is going to be a budget-friendly build as well as DIY. So let's talk about the initial cost of the vehicle. So the entire car, right? I'm $6,000 into it. Now, it has a rebuilt title. It already had the K24a, the swap mounts in it. It's got an S2000 with the adapter plate to it, transmission, stock rear end. Now, because I'm going with a Power Glide, I'm going to take the adapter for the transmission off, as well as the transmission, obviously. And then we're doing a Ford 8.8 rear end in the backside. So I will have some parts to sell that I can invest back in the parts that is actually going to go in this car. Let's check out what I did today. So the very first thing I did was clean everything up. I am extremely stickler about your workspace. Obviously you can see my tools and things are organized. It's fairly clean in here, but what you are working on in general, the cleaner it is, the easier it is to work on. And this shit cleaned up really nice. So if you remember yesterday, it was pretty trashed in here. And so let's talk about these things. So, and again, stuff like this, right? So I removed the wiper stuff. This is gonna be a drag car, so keep that in mind. But I removed all the wiper stuff and I'm putting a pile of parts over here. There's the wiper thing right there that I'm going to resell, which it has the double benefit when it comes to a drag car. So we're removing weight and also removing parts that we can resell to put back into the build, back to the build, all right? So K24a, I don't like a lot of what's going on in here, so I am going to redo a lot of things. I've already had to reconnect the steering. For some reason, the steering was removed. I actually don't mind the way that they have this hose ran. I'm gonna clean that up a little bit. There's already because you need a different water neck for the RBB style head. So the RBB style head is what's on a K24a or K24a2. And I have a K-Power manifold coming. So I took the F20 manifold off, gonna sell that. Got a K-Power manifold coming and it's already got that water neck, so I'm gonna use that again. As you can see, ABS, if you know anything about S2000, ABS module got pulled out today. I'm gonna run hard lines, soft lines, but steel braided lines to just the front off of, I'm gonna delete the booster off of just the booster to the front brakes, and then have a hand brake to the rear brakes only. Again, guys, just a drag car. This is not gonna be a street car. Even if it was a street car, obviously there's a lot of bias in the braking system as well. I can still run a proportioning valve if I want and tee it off of here and run it, 40-40 or something like that. Anyway, wiring. I'm still torn on if I'm going to get one of the wire harnesses that I think they're like $900. So that could eat into the budget of the car. But I got a Schmuck built T4 single 44 millimeter wastegate manifold coming for this, as well as a VS Racing 6262, because again, this is going to be for Forced Induction Sport. So because it's for Forced Induction Sport, it has to have that turbo specifically for that class. Not that turbo itself. You can run a Precision 6266. That is the maximum turbo size for the class. But again, budget build. And I want to keep the turbo system, at least for now. I want to see what it'll make. It's going to be on the stock long block, so I'm only going to be able to push that between, some people are going to think this is crazy, but I'm going to have the normal settings for the class running it somewhere around 600 horsepower. And then I'm going to set up a scramble button on since it's going to be an automatic, I'm going to set up a scramble button, which means it's going to raise the boost if needed to somewhere between 700 and 800, and hope it holds. We'll see. Oh, and something I noticed because it was over my shoulder, let me get my finger out of the way, is that this car was supposed to also come with a K-Pro, and then it has a Y-Rire K-Series to S2000 chassis harness in it. The problem is, and I wouldn't say it's a problem necessarily, we'll see what happens is, but I didn't open that when I bought the car. I opened it today, and it's actually a Honda Vert, which still uses the Honda software for K-Pro, but nonetheless, it's not a K-Pro. That's a spare K24a2, great condition, super clean, low mileage. This one is in not so good condition. I'm gonna get both of those up on a stand, tear them down, take a look, because again, we just talked about the scramble button. This being on a scramble button may spit some rods out of it every once in a while, and so we'll need to have backup motors. Stay tuned. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you like this stuff, if you want to hear more about pricing and staying within the budget, because I know a lot of us are on budget when they come to the race car. Oh, and people are gonna hate on these probably, but those are motorcycle tires on the front, 17 by 4.5s on some VMS's. I think it looks pretty cool. Good stance on the car so far. Same wheels, matching wheels, but 15 by 8s, I believe, for the back. Coming. They should be here today or tomorrow, whatever. And then we're gonna run 26 by 8 slicks and hope that the car can cut low on 4s, high on 3s. We'll see. Definitely gonna do some import drag solutions, springs at least in the back to begin with. But again, this is budget constraints. We shall see. I'll keep you guys in the loop on all of the expenses. See you in the next video.